All right. Good evening. This is speaker and coach Honey Shantay Adams, and I'm coming on a very different time today. But I wanted to come on live. I said, you know what? I don't care if it's late at night. I'm coming on live, even though it's not late at night in my time zone. It may be late for some of you guys for me to pop on live in your time zone, but I am here. This is still Financial Fitness Fridays. It's still Friday, but I was committed to coming on today. It's just I had an appointment that just ran long. It was actually a phenomenal appointment I had with someone earlier today that I got a chance to meet, and we hit it off so well to the point we was on for 2 hours, almost 2 hours. It was a good hour or so change. But it was very good, and so it put me behind a little. Not put me behind, but I had appointments after. Needless to say, no excuses, right? I'm here, so I believe in no excuses. Last week I couldn't get on here. I was totally full the entire day, so it was out of my control on that day. So I made a point to get on here this evening. I said, you know what? Hook or crook, I'm going to come on this live. So with that being said, some of y'all probably won't see this until the next time or the replay, but that's okay. That's all right. You'll see it. And so I do have some information to bring forth today on this still Financial Fitness Friday Talk Plus. We're still going to get some of that information in. I'm bringing you some value this evening, and it's all about value separation from your competitive. Yes, value separation from your competitive. So what we're going to talk about today is what? Value. Why is that important? How? What does that does? What does that do for an entrepreneur? What does that do for a business? Why am I talking so much about value? Lately, I've been talking a lot about value, which I talk a lot about value. It's just lately I've been emphasizing value as it relates to entrepreneurship, business, as it relates to you gaining influence, leads to profitability and sustainability and cash flow, and more importantly, allows you to serve, be a go-giver. And so with that being said, I want to kind of talk to you all who are watching me or watch the replay. It's all good. And so I want to talk about why, or the benefit of value and why that matters. And so what value does, if you're taking notes or if you're just listening, get some gleaning in today and this evening. Value is your greatest competitive advantage. So if you're taking notes, jot that down. Value is your competitive advantage. It's my competitive advantage and it is yours. Value, depending on the person, the personality, and the person who's bringing it, it really does separate us. And separate you from others who do the same thing as you, which we'll talk about that in a moment here. But value is so important. And I always believe in bringing value, but when you start like digging into it and get deeper understanding and the significance of value, it really impacts you. And so when I sit down with people, I try to bring tons of value, things that they can really walk away from, like, wow, that was really good. I wouldn't got this from someone else, or I wouldn't got that information. You know, I'm so grateful for this person, or what they brought to the table. And so just value, I've talked about value before in other settings, but I've been really soaking in and sitting in value. So I encourage you all who are listening to me, take some notes. We're going to go over a few things. I will not be here very long. I just gave you one point, but we're going to get in and get out. It's going to be fast. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to give you something to think about. It is valuable, so take some notes. We're going to dig in just a little bit deeper. So we talked about one point. Value separates you from your competitive. Value also gives you a competitive advantage. So I've become more of a value-driven entrepreneur. So nothing about value. Value builds trust. It values so your clientele trust you to do their business, to do business with. So when you bring so much value, it also builds trust. And we know we're in this like, no trust factor type of business when you're trying to do business with someone, whether you're an entrepreneur, just if you have something that you just want to sell, you're not even consider yourself an entrepreneur, you just have a product or a service, right? And so a lot of times money does not exchange hands until there's a lot of trust there. So that like part is there, or they get to know you is there. So that part is still vital. And so it builds trust when you really emphasize value with a person. It differentiates you from your your business. So your business is differentiated. And so you set apart, basically. So it sets you apart from other businesses that maybe do the same thing as you. You know, I mean, or something similar, or even something different. It just sets you apart. And so it causes you to increase the influence. So value separates you from your competitors, but it also allows you to be separated from others like you, and it allows you to have increased influence. It also creates loyalty. So your clients, your customers, it creates that loyalty when you bring so much value to them. And people like that. People like when you bring value, that you're not wasting their time. Hello, somebody. Do we like somebody waste our time? No. Do I want somebody waste my time? No. Do you want somebody waste your time? No. Even today, I don't want to waste your time. I want you to grab some things and be able to grab a hold to it and run with it. Run with it, run with it, run with it. Another thing that I value, what it does is why it's so significant, is that it generates referrals, which we want that. We want that. As a matter of fact, I had a call with someone today. She said, I'm going to see so many referrals. She said, I got a person in mind. And then we went and found the person. I'm going to refer her to you. And so when you bring so much value to a person, that call was so good with her, that meeting we had today. It was so good. She said, I've got so many people I can send to you. And I said, send them our way. Send it. We can use the referrals. We praise the Lord for that. Thank you, Jesus. And so, but the connection her and I got a chance to establish was so good. So when you bring so much value to a person, they are willing to bring referrals. Same with me. I like to refer people to people. I just believe you should do that. I think that's good to do that. Like we're not all called to everybody, so you know, if you do something that I know you do that's going to benefit someone else, say, hey, I send them your way. I think that's good, and that's how we, you know, when we give like that, it would get brought back to us back. That's just come with the energy of giving. Another thing is, and like I said, another thing about too, if it's not something for you that you're interested in, then refer people. You know, you may say, oh, I'm good in that area, but so-and-so could use it. Let so-and-so know that. Refer people business. That's good. And watch the blessing come back to you when you do that. Refer. Okay, let me keep on going. So, value also reduce price sensitivity. It reduces that. It increases profits. It builds your reputation, creates long-term sustainability, and it also leaves a legacy. That's what value does. The value does these things. Value, the formula you always want to remember when it comes to value, and I want to say this right now, is value leads to trust. Trust leads to influence. Influence leads to loyalty. Loyalty leads to referrals. Referrals leads to profits, and then it leads to legacy. That's key. Now, there's a powerful principle I want to say really quickly. People don't pay for products. They pay for the value those products create in their lives. People pay for that. Remember that. Rewind this back. Listen to that again. So the question you always want to ask yourself is, how can I create more value? Question I ask myself. I was asking myself that today, as a matter of fact, to be truthful with you. How can I create more value? How can I bring more value to someone? And so these are questions I ask myself because I consider myself aiming to continue to becoming a value-driven entrepreneur. So how can I bring more value? Like tomorrow we're having a growth event out here in Arizona and across many parts of this country tomorrow. So if you're in Arizona, shout me out. If you're in Texas, California, Carolina, you in Tennessee, you in Georgia, you in Virginia, reach out to me. Washington, reach out to me. Sidebar. We're having a big event tomorrow, a growth event tomorrow. So we always want to bring value to the marketplace. So tomorrow we get to bring value here to Arizona. And so you in Phoenix area, Chandler, Arizona, Tempe, Scottsdale, you in these areas, Gilbert, anywhere in the surrounding areas, come holler at me. Reach out to me, inbox me. We having something tomorrow very special. Another thing that value does is that you become more memorable when you bring more value to people. It shifts the conversation away from price. It creates loyalty and establishes authority. One more powerful takeaway is that your competitors can copy your product, price, and marketing, but they cannot copy your value. They cannot copy your unique value that you bring, your personality that you bring to the marketplace. It consistently creates clients for you. It makes you more memorable. That's what value does.